Good morning, algebra students. You get to listen to me do another video once again. Hopefully I didn't make any mistakes this time. Hope you guys are having a good morning so far. Wish I was there with you. We're going to learn about 6.4 notes today, which is solve and graph compound inequalities. Just the word compound right there should probably clue you in. There's something more than just one thing going on. So today we're going to be talking about and or statements and what those look like when we're talking about inequalities along with it. This first one, on numbers 1 and 2, you're going to be given a graph. And on your graph, if you can tell, you've got arrows going this way and you have arrows going this way. So you have two separate parts of the graph that are highlighted. These graphs are going off in opposite directions. If graphs go off in opposite directions, it becomes an or statement where x could be 7 or anything less than 7, or x could be 10 or anything greater than 10. So for instance, x could be 4, x could be 7, x could be 10, x could be 11, x could be 1,000. X cannot be, however, anything in this middle region. So X can't be 8 or 9 or 9.5. So it's got to satisfy one of these two scenarios. The key is to write the statement in numerical order. So 7 is obviously going to come first before 10. So tell me what's happening with the 7. Well, X is less than or equal to 7, and you have to write the word or, that's important. X is greater than or equal to 10. Like I said over here, x could be any number 7 or less, or x could be any number 10 or more. So again, you have to write the statement in numerical order with the word or in between. Number 2 looks a little bit different. Notice this graph meets in the middle. You have a closed circle at 16 heading left. Oh, but at the same time, you have a closed circle at 11 heading right. X can be anything in this shaded region. Since it meets in the middle, this is an and statement. Very important you know the difference. Opposite directions, or meets in the middle, and. You write your and statements kind of similar how we did domain and range values sometimes, where x has to be something in the middle. Again, it's important to write your values in numerical order. So 11 comes before 16. So 11 is less than or equal to x, which at the same time is less than or equal to 16. The key to this, if it's an and statement and you correctly have it in numerical order, so again, the key to this is making sure that you have your numbers written in numerical order. If that's the case, both of these signs are going to be less than or equal to signs in this case. It could be less than signs in the future, but they will be at least less than signs in numerical order because x is greater than or equal to 11, but at the same time is less than or equal to 16. So x could be 13, x could be 15, x could be 16. However, x cannot be anything on the opposite sides of that graph. So it couldn't be 17, it couldn't be 0, etc. Moving on to the next part, you're going to sketch a graph of the inequality. So they've given you these statements over here that I've kind of highlighted. The first one says x is less than 5 or x is greater than 12. Since it's an or statement, you should know that the graph is going to go in opposite directions. Key, once again, put those numbers in numerical order. So you have 5 and you have 12. Both of them are open circles. X could be anything less than 5, so your arrow goes to the left, or x could be anything greater than 12, so your arrow goes to the right. Number 4 is an and statement. You can tell that because x is trapped in between the -4 and the +9. That's an and statement, so your graph should meet in the middle. So you have closed circles at -4, closed circle at 9, and the graph meets in the middle between the two of those. Number 5 is all fine and good, but I would absolutely rewrite it in numerical order first. If you do that, it's going to make your job so much easier. So I just rewrote it where x is less than or equal to -3, kept the sign the same, or x is greater than or equal to 2. Since it's an or statement, your graph is going to go in opposite directions. Closed circle at -3 going left, or x could be a closed circle at 2 going to the right. So again, very important that you rewrite it in numerical order, then your graphs almost match perfectly. 16, same thing, number 6, sorry. 16 comes before 7 in this case. Well, we know that's not true in numerical order, so we're going to rewrite it as 7, which is less than x, which is less than 16. So when you rewrite it, the signs kind of flip the other way as long as you keep it intact where you know x is greater than 7, which it is down here. And again, if it's an and statement, your signs will be pointing to the left. And statements also, if you remember, meet in the middle. So open at 7, open at 16, meeting in the middle. Next set of instructions tell us to translate the verbal phrase into inequality and graph. So from the words, you're going to write the inequality and then you're going to graph it. All real numbers that are less than -3 or greater than 0. So you know right now it's going to be an or statement. Make sure you put your numbers in numerical order. X is less than 3 or x is greater than 0. You know your graph will head off in opposite directions because of the or statement. Open at -3 going left, open at 0 going right. Again, I can't stress enough, your numbers need to be in numerical order. Number 8 is all real numbers that are less than 9 and greater than or equal to 7. Since it's an and statement, you know they're going to meet in the middle. X is going to be trapped in there. And not only that, make sure you're writing your numbers in numerical order. 7 is going to come before 9. So at one time, x is greater than or equal to 7, but it also has to satisfy the fact that x has to be less than 9. And it's okay that one of these is closed and one of them's open. That happens sometimes. X could be any number, 7 or greater, but at the same time has to be less than 9. So closed at 7, open at 9, meeting in the middle. Again, 7 comes before 9, so make sure that you are writing that. Number 9, solve and graph. Notice, these are going to start putting objects together here, equations together with the inequality signs. This one is obviously going to be an and statement since x is trapped in the middle. So what you're wanting to do is you're basically going to subtract 4 from the middle, from the left side, from the right side, because in this and statement, whatever you do to the middle, you have to do to both sides as well. So we subtract 4 from the middle, from the left, and from the right. 3 minus 4 is -1, which is less than x, which is less than 11 minus 4, which is 7. So your graph is going to look like this. Open at -1, open at 7, meeting in the middle because it's an and statement. There's going to be 2 parts to all of your answers on solve and graph the inequalities. You need to write the statement like I did here, and you need to graph it, which I did here. So make sure you have 2 parts to it. I just don't want to see the graph. I want to see everything solved down to its lowest terms as you can go. On number 9, I also showed you how if you wanted to, you could just kind of separate it out and solve it like this. So you're taking 3 is less than x plus 4, but at the same time, x plus 4 is less than 11. Solve it out this way, but then you still need to put it together like this, which is why I think it's easier sometimes if you just go up and do it like I did the first method, where you keep it together and just subtract the 4 from all 3 sides. Don't forget though, you need this statement and you need the graph. Number 10, it's an or statement. So you're going to solve both sides. You're going to solve the left side, you're going to solve the right side. When you do that, you add 1 to each side. 5 plus 1 is 6. Divide each side by 3. X is less than or equal to 2. Didn't flip that because we're not multiplying or dividing by a negative. And then the second part, 5x plus 2 is greater than 37. Subtract 2 from both sides. Divide by 5. X is greater than 7. In numerical order, write the statement. This is part of your answer here. X is less than or equal to 2 or x is greater than 7. When you graph it, closed at 2 going left, open at 7 going right. Hopefully I didn't make any mistakes. If not, I'm sure one of you will kindly email me in the morning while I'm at my meeting. I need you to be working on the 6.4 worksheet. It is all, guys, I know it seems like a lot, but honestly, a lot of it will go pretty quickly on especially the front half of the worksheet. So it shouldn't be too time consuming. Also, don't forget your 6.7 worksheet is due tomorrow as well. So when I get back, we'll finish up 6.4 notes, take it a little bit deeper, and double check 6.7 and 6.4 worksheets. Hope you guys have a great day. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to email me.